Welcome to RV to Freedom Live with Carenza and Brandon.
Hi.
He just said that was his thing. Hi. We help future nomads smoothly transition to life as a full-time RVer.
And we're the host of the RV to Freedom Facebook group that you guys are probably in. And we're the creators of the Roadmap to Full-Time RVing course. In today's show, we're going to be talking about what it's like to become a full-timer. Because you guys are probably in the group because you thought, I want to be a full-timer.
Right? And that's the title of the show kind of gives it away. Yeah. So maybe you've been dreaming of living in an RV, but you're kind of anxious about making that leap from normal life.
Yeah, you might have your friends and family think that you have lost it just a little bit and that you're a little bit crazy and you're just going to end up homeless on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, broken down, dead in a ditch somewhere or something. Does this sound like you guys? Does this sound like, yeah, I want to live on the road, but I'm a little bit worried about making that big leap into full-time life?
Right. All right. Well, if it does, just let us know what stage you're in. Like, write in the comments. We want to know where you are on your RV journey.
Yeah. It looks like we got some cool people here. We got Beth, and I'm going to look it up here because all your names are up there.
Yeah.
Kat, Mary, Trina, Scott, everybody's here. Elliot says, for sure. Yeah.
Great. We're glad to hear it. So today we're talking all about that. And we're going to let you know that you are not crazy.
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe
crazy.
A little bit crazy.
You got to be a little bit crazy. You want to live in a box and drive around.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, we're going to invite you to a free webinar that's all about 5 steps to freedom and start your full-time RV life the right way. But, right now, we're going to get into it because we're going to learn more about full-timing on the webinar, but we're actually starting with this series today, and it's going on about full-time RVing and how to get into it.
Yeah. So full-time RVing, it can be tough to get started. I mean, it was for us. It is for a lot of people. It's rare that it's easy for anybody just to jump in and do it. But all of us full-timers, we started out just like you. We had like a normal life, the life they told us we're supposed to have, the American dream, where we ended up.
We worked a lot and we spent too much time commuting. And, we had our 9-to-5 jobs, which were maybe more like 9 to 6, 9 to 7.
9 to 8 seems to be when you got home. But yeah, it was pretty much whenever they would let us leave.
Or work was done, which is never. And we had to cram everything we wanted to really do and explore on the weekends.
Yeah, or in those 3 hours that you're not exhausted when you're home at night. And then whatever you didn't get done during the week, it flowed into the weekends. And then the weekends you spent mowing the grass and just basically being exhausted. And then Sunday night came, you vegetated on the couch, and you dreaded waking up and starting all over again. And that's where we were at. That's where a lot of people were at. And we did all of that just to afford this house full of stuff that we drove away from every day, that we just left behind. And then we would come home and we would shop for things again because it brought us, half a second of joy. And then it was just another thing to clean and dust and get around.
We just got in a rut with that. And we realized we were existing in the same space and we were existing in this house, but we weren't truly happy doing that. It just became routine.
Yeah, it was just kind of this mundane existence. And then, we had these bursts of happiness, and it was whenever we were on vacation.
Or some kind of travel.
Yeah. So we spent all this time working and paying for these houses. Look at it. We don't have houses. We had a house, and then we had an apartment, filling it full of junk. And the happiest we were when we drove away from it for 3 days, and we slept in a tent or a PopUp camper in the dirt, and cooked over a fire.
Hung out in our car all day as we were driving around trying to get somewhere, and then being in a hotel, which was in our bed. So, but that was when we were happiest, and we wished we could just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, right at the end of the trip, you started thinking about Monday morning back at work, and it was like, can we just keep moving? Mm-hmm. Can we just keep going? So I guess to originally like get us started RVing, and we didn't even think of it as RVing. We just wanted to camp more and travel more. So we bought ourselves a little pop-up camper. And
it helped us get out and explore. We took the weekends, we'd make long weekends and go into the mountains and relax. And that really,
I was just going to say, for us, that was a big deal because we lived right across the river from New York City. So like we were in the concrete jungle and we were both, I mean, hey, look, Paul's from Greater Muncie. You know Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Prince is from Indiana. I'm from Georgia. We're used to trees and cornfields. but you know, so we needed to get away. And it gave us an opportunity to get away in the little, you know, Friday night after work, we grab the pop-up, we drag it out to the woods, and then Sunday night we come back and start all over again. And then we were seeing all these big RVs out there and we're like, ooh, I wonder if we could live in one of those.
Yeah, it was an idea. We knew people did it, but it seemed a bit insane and crazy for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a life that we were kind of ingrained in. We didn't know anyone. So it really took a couple of years before we were on board with the idea of we could take our lives on the road.
And then, you know, once we said we're going to do it, then we started the research phase, the big, scary research phase. And I'm guessing that's probably where a lot of you people are right now. You're probably in that same spot where you're like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm crazy, but let's figure it out and let's go. And that was that moment for us. And researching, it's hard. Researching the RV life is hard because,
you know, we didn't know what we didn't know.
Right.
You just don't. You don't know what you don't know. And it was different than any other life that we had lived. We moved a lot, but we didn't constantly travel. We didn't live like a nomad. Our address wasn't where we lived permanently.
Yeah, I mean, moving from house to apartment, that makes sense. You call up the electric company, you call up the gas, you hook up the cable, you put your junk in there, and then you're done. But we didn't have those experiences with, you know, a nomad life. Well, okay, well, what happens on Tuesday? Where does the house go then? You know, and what if something breaks and all of these things that you just don't know. Like, and, you know, of course, the internet, you know, on the one hand, you've got it, yes, you can do it, no problem. And the other hand is everything you buy is wrong and everything's going to explode all the time. So for us, it was scary.
Yeah. It
was scary to leave that normal life behind, but not only just the RV thing, but also leaving friends and family
and the way that you navigate your life. I mean, all the institutions that you might not think about or
being able to call up someone and be like, hey, I need help doing something. Can you help me? Now all of a sudden this idea of, oh, I'm driving away from everybody I know. Now everybody I meet is a stranger.
Yeah.
Can I rely on these people?
Right. Because your support network, you're thinking you're abandoning that, you know, it's like, who's going to be there for me?
Yeah.
But we felt like we were taking a big risk too, because we had to work on the road. We weren't retired. It's not like we had saved up all our money over a lifetime and then, hey, you know, like we're hitting the road. It's like we still had to make money on the road so that we could live. Yeah.
And it's, hey, Kelly's chiming in. Maybe you want to look at that, check that out, make sure everything's running right because it's the internet. But yeah, it also for us, you know, we weren't retired. So it wasn't like this big lofty dream that we've had forever. We still have to work. We still have to make money. We still have to be present, and we need internet connections and all of these things that we would like, how do you do this? And then can I see this real quick?
We didn't.
Sorry. And the other thing about this whole thing is we didn't know anyone personally who has done this. We knew lots of bloggers that have done this. We knew that retired people did this, but we didn't have anyone personally that we could ask questions to.
Right.
So even though there was a ton of information and there's a ton of people out there doing it, we're still making decisions on our own. We're still like, okay, we're absorbing this piece of information and this one and this one. And of those three, I guess this one's the one that fits us. So that was a big challenge, as well as it's this feeling of, even though there's a lot coming at me, I still feel like I'm all alone. And Krentz is putting this up in the RV to Freedom page group now. Yeah, I get them confused. So it was a little scary, and then it actually led us to take even longer to pull the trigger, because we kept telling people we were going to do this, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, you told me that a year ago, and you told me that 2 years ago, and then finally the big sales VP where I worked, he was like, just do it already, and that was kind of like, okay, fine. Yeah.
So it took us, we decided to do it. This was over 4 years ago now. And we finally hit the road. But it wasn't completely smooth at first.
Yeah.
It's not like we just got into it and everything was, hunky-dory and, it was smooth sailing. It doesn't happen.
No, I mean, it was a huge transition. It was completely different. And it took us a while to find that footing. And it just took a while to feel right. I mean, I spent the first 3 months in this park we were in, I didn't want to leave. We had a nice long stay. I was like, let's just stay here. I don't want to put the slides in. I don't want to start the engine. I'm afraid everything's going to break, because that was my job. All of a sudden, I'm the mechanic and the not housekeeper. But
trash man, the plumber.
Yeah.
Which you do plumbing in your house.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Exactly.
It's, like we like to say, it's not difficult, but it's different.
Yeah.
Even throw that one up there. Because there's all these pieces to it that you didn't have to do before. You didn't have to worry about. And now you have to figure out.
Yeah, Marie says they're currently in that phase.
Yeah.
They're in the, okay, I've done it. And they're in the, oh, hell, what have I done phase. They're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Yeah.
We know where Marie's at right now with that. Yeah. And it does get better. And thanks, Elliot. So they're very thankful that we're sharing all this and willing to share it.
And Alan's about to take the big leap.
Oh, wow. Yeah. August 1st. Woo! Nice. Yeah. So it does take a little time to get used to what you're doing. But once you get into it, it becomes your new normal.
Yeah.
And you'll look at your past normal in a different light.
Yeah. It'll start to seem strange. Like, wait, you fill your house with stuff and then you drive away from it all day.
Right.
And then you come home and you mow. Why are you mowing grass? Leave the grass alone. Go play, And so it does get weird. And even still, like, when we work, we work a lot, but we're in a different place all the time. So yeah, it's tough because we're working, but we're in a new place. And this new place, it's not a vacation. It's just where we live this week or 2 weeks or month. So when you go out and you see people standing in line and trudging their kids through and being on vacation and spending it standing in line, you're like, well, that's weird. Why don't you just do what we do? But don't. Like, if everybody did this, there wouldn't be enough space. So let's just keep it between us.
Well, now that we've been out here, we're living life on our own terms, and we're going where we want to go, when we want to go, and spending as much time in different places as we want.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. I mean, you're not
absolutely great.
You don't feel this obligation to pack every single experience into this 1 week trip I have.
Right.
It's like, we're in a beautiful spot right now. We spend a lot of time indoors working, but we get to go outside and be on the edge of a cliff. And, if we don't hike every single trail that's out here, we'll hit them next time we come, because we know we can come back. Right. And it's not such a like, oh, where's my one vacation?
Not a rush. It's not a rush on vacation. And which we found vacations to be after a while, or sometimes all you want to do is relax, but then maybe you're not exploring as much. Now, sometimes vacation mode's exhausting. Yeah. I'm used to being able to spread it out over, even a few weeks or something if I want to check out a place.
And even that whole leaving family, leaving friends. Yeah. Now we go see them. We'll go and we'll spend a month with family. And we've always lived away from our families because of our jobs. And so now, instead of just driving in for a couple days at the holidays, we go spend a month. They can come see us. We can go, we've kind of toured the country and we've done, the things we wanted to do, but then a friend is here. Let's go see them. Another friend from high school's there. Let's go see them. I'm sure we'll be up there to see Paul and Muncie pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going back through Paul. Now.
So So that's been a great part of it. And then the other thing is, you know, we just thought we'd be alone. We thought that, you know, oh, it's just the two of us. And what if, you know, this one, and I can't deal with being the two of us in one small spot.
Or just, you know, even though we tend to be introverts and we get along really well, you still want to have more of a network of friends, you know, at least you used to being able to like going out and seeing a friend and do something else. Or, you know, we worked out of the home before. We were working in an office. So we were talking to other people there. Yeah. And we were going to be working inside the RV with just the two of us.
In like 200 square feet or less. Yeah.
Right. So it was a little daunting. We're like, you know, this is going to be strange and hard, but you know what? We're actually more social now than we ever were before.
You would not have recognized us in our previous life. It was very much like we were, you know, in our work, and then we went home and we watched every single TV show that came out, and that was it. We didn't really interact with other people. We just did our own thing, and we were alone before. When we were with all these other people, we were alone. Now that we're alone, we're with all these other people. It's really weird. And, you know, Jeff asked, do we feel that it's getting more crowded with RVers out there on the road? A little bit, but there's so many opportunities. Like, as it's gotten more crowded in one respect, we shift and we camp in a different respect. I mean, right now, we're on the edge of a cliff with two close friends, and that's it. Easter weekend, we had, you know, some like high school kids over here playing their music for a couple of nights, and then boom, they're back to work. We're back in the peace. So it's been nice.
Right. And you can choose to do that, or like before we were here, we were at a Convergence, and we were with a bunch of people. It was an escapers Convergence, and a lot of them, we stayed a little bit afterwards and hung out with people who were still there. There's still a lot of them there hanging out, you know, so they get to have this whole crazy friend group going on and camp with a bunch of people. Yeah. We just needed some time to work and focus, because man, it can be hard to focus when you're around a bunch of people. Sometimes we have fun, but so we left and we were, you know, in a smaller group. But there's always kind of ways to kind of move around that. And yeah, I think there are more people joining the ranks of RVers now.
But there's a lot of opportunities to RV that aren't just campgrounds. And that's kind of like some of the stuff we get into in other videos. But there's so many more things than just showing up at a KOA and paying $65 a night. There's a lot of ways to break it up. And especially as you move out west, it gets a lot easier. East Coast, yeah, it's more crowded. You'll have to make more reservations. But it's fine.
Right. Right. Yeah. There's just tricks to it that you learn about summer and stuff like that.
And like, I think Stacy, hey, Stacy's here. She's one that we met at a Convergence and hung out with a bunch, and, you know, a bunch of these other people I'm sure we're going to meet. So,
but it's easy, you know, as much we've met a lot of people, like we said, on the road, and it's actually easier on the road, I feel like, to meet people than it was in my previous life. I mean, I have friends from high school still that I'm friends with, and friends from college, but otherwise it was always based around work.
Yeah, it's more acquaintances, you know.
Yeah, it was like I made friends at work, but I didn't meet random people that did different things because how was I going to do that?
Exactly. And we talked about that last week. That's the thing that surprised me the most. And you don't really realize it, but you know, when you're coming up, you're in your neighborhood. Well, your neighborhood's all similar types of people. You're in your job, it's all similar types of people. You get out in RVing and you start meeting just so many diverse kinds of people and hanging out with them. It really kind of broadens your horizons and everything. And I don't know, it just sounds a little sappy now.
But you have an instant common connection with people when you get out here.
Yeah.
Especially when you're full-timers. I mean, you're full-time RVers. That's something right there that's different than most of the people in the world.
And you got a cool, easy thing to talk about. Where'd you come from? Where are you going? Not what do you do for work?
Right.
You know? And then you can start talking about that time you dumped the black tank on your foot. And I guess as I've mentioned, you wouldn't have recognized us from before. I mean, we've changed a ton. RVing has changed us.
Yeah.
I don't know, our whole outlook on everything has changed. And for one thing that was really weird is we're both designers. That's what we did. We designed products. We designed things for people to buy. Yeah. Like I designed watches. She designed eyewear. don't care about that stuff anymore. Like, we don't care about
I do tend to
stuff.
wear sunglasses still.
Yeah.
But because they are a necessity, but especially our being outside, we just don't, we don't purchase things anymore. I mean, for one, we live in a smaller home now. Yeah. So there's not room. You can't just pick up something and buy it because it's, oh, so cute. I think I'll put it here. You don't have the space. You
know, RV Chickadee that just commented, she would probably say we have too much stuff. But what's nice about this life is we have everything we need. Yeah. You know, once it was tough. We had to buy a whole bunch of stuff to get the RV set up right. But once it's set up, you've got what you need. You don't need anything else, and you don't have space for anything else. So that's not even on your mind. Like, you walk into a mall and it's like, we have no reason.
We don't window shop much. Sometimes just for fun in cities, I like to see local things. But yeah, something has to really be a need or really appeal to us to buy it. And for a couple people who worked in product, that is a big change. It's very different and a very different mindset.
So now it's so cliched. Like, we should get it painted on a little canvas and put it up on the wall. But it's all about experiences over things.
We collect experiences instead of things. And so that's what we spend our time and money on.
And our energy researching, that's what we talk about with people. And you need RV friends because you need to talk to them. Because you go back and you talk to normal people and they're just like, stop, I can't listen to you. You're doing too much. But yeah, because of all of those changes that, we were scared normal. We did it. It was weird. We've been doing it a long time now and we really love it. Yeah. Now we're like completely open to any other changes.
Right. We have a different outlook for that. We know that, the RV is not a permanent decision. We don't have any plans to go off the road, but we're more open to other options. We could maybe not go sailing because I get seasick, but I know a lot of people do that, but we could do something else. There's other things out there that we're open to now. We can always go back to our old lives in a way. If
they force me to go back to a cubicle. But yeah, we are because we've made that big change and we understood that it's not so scary. It's hard. It takes some work and you've got to work through it. But once you've done it, it's awesome. It lets us, now we have that experience to know that, hey, we can make another big change. Right. No big deal. We're not making any big changes right now.
Yeah, we're not. We're not, because we're very happy with what we're doing, which is why we like to talk about it all the time. Yeah. But we do know that we made this work and that we can make something else work. And most things usually do work out. Yeah. And I saw Penny commented, and she and Mike, they're closing on their house soon. We met them at another Convergence, and they're about to take the leap.
And somebody did ask how you find out about Convergences. Convergence is kind of, it's not exactly, but it's mostly the word used for escapers, get-togethers, rallies. So on the escapers.com website, they have
they had the Convergences there. There are other rallies and everything.
There's a rally for every flavor
with escapers all the time.
But
the transition to full timing for us and for most people we know, it's not an easy thing. Yep. There's a lot of stuff. If you guys haven't started downsizing, starting downsizing and getting rid of things, start now.
Start yesterday. Yeah. A lot of people put that off because they think, oh, it's just my stuff, I'll just get rid of it.
Right.
It's emotionally taxing, especially if you have a lot of memories attached to everything. And there's a lot of decisions to make when you're going to go full timing. How much am I going to spend? What's my budget? What kind of RV to get? Where am I going to camp? Where do I want to go? And all of these things. And again, you don't have a lot of experience to draw on, because you've never had to make these kinds of decisions before. Right. If you have, then it makes it easier. But for most people,
we've been camping. We were camping before. We had our pop-up, but we didn't plan to live in the pop-up full time, although we met people who have. But that wasn't our choice. We're thinking there's no way we can do that. And we had been camping in campgrounds, but we didn't know exactly how. It's like, how does that relate to the whole U.S.?
Right.
We knew our area.
Right.
And which is a little different.
And we could always go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always like, oh, well, furnace did
Right.
something weird, we'll just go home, you know, but oh no, now I'm living in the thing. Robbie asked, did we go full-time right away or did we part-time first? We went full-time right away.
Full-time.
Again, it took us a long time to get to that point, but there was a day when we didn't live in a house anymore and we lived in an RV, and
Yeah.
that was a strange day. You know, it's just like,
Right.
This is it. This is all of us. Okay, let's go.
And it's just hard to know what choices you're making if they're the right choices. You don't have that experience. You might be listening to other people, but you don't know if that relates to you.
Yeah.
And like we said before, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't always know what to ask and what to look for.
And then on top of that, you're still living your regular life. So you're still got to go to work and you still got to, you know, take care of your house and all of that. And it's hard to know what this RV life's going to be like without the real experience of doing it. And it's hard to find the time to make sure that you dig up all those nuggets of information you need so that you can avoid making this, you know, a big costly mistake, and not even know you're making the mistake. You might think you got everything right and you did it wrong. So,
it can be just so overwhelming to try to cut through all this clutter, try to find the right information you need, just figuring out all the decisions that you have to make and to figure out all of those choices. That process, it like weighs on you a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, it can be fun because, you know, you're getting this change, but along with, if you're getting anxious about making this change in your life, having all this overwhelm on you too gets a little stressful.
Yeah. And even though we're sitting here today talking about how to RV and how to full-time, even we made mistakes starting out. I mean, we were just regular people trying to live out on the road. So we did what we could. We made the best decisions we could, but we really didn't understand all the factors in RVing. Just like I was telling you guys, there's so many more ways to camp than just campgrounds. I mean, we knew that was out there, but that didn't seem...
It didn't, it didn't.
For us, it didn't seem right, you know?
It didn't seem like an actual plausible thing at the time.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know about all those choices. And we didn't really hear about most of them.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that it was out there.
And we were kind of taking our brains that lived in a house and just sticking them in an RV and just assuming we are who we are and we're going to be the same people in the RV. And like, we couldn't have been more wrong. Like the minute we hit the road, everything started changing. All of, you know, just our whole outlook on things. It was like, okay, this is everything I own and it's right here and I'm fine. And all those things I thought I needed aren't important anymore. So yeah.
Just our priorities changed, and what we really should have been prioritizing before we left, we didn't, because it was a different life.
Right.
And so once we got out there and figured that out, those became the priorities instead of what we thought were the priorities.
Yeah. I mean, we were still kind of carrying the baggage from regular life. So we were real concerned with what the RV looked like. Not so much for us, but to other people. Like we didn't want our family to think we were crazy if we got an RV that was too small.
Too small or too old or looked funny.
Yeah, so it's very important that it not be white and that it be a certain size and have like big flat TVs and look right. And, you know, certain other features in the RV, we just thought like, well, we have to have that. And it's funny now when I see people's needs and wants lists, I'm like, well, most of your needs are wants. You know, you need a roof over your head. You don't need, you know, this big giant entertainment center. But then things that we weren't looking at really became important to us.
Like our mobility and the way to move around quickly in our RV, because that was important to us once we figured out how we like to live and move in our RV. And it ended up really that we made this purchase in the beginning with our RV that we went full-time in based on priorities from our past life. And almost right away, it was apparent that it was not right for us. Yeah. And it didn't fit the needs that were important to us. And we ended up taking a loss on that because we tried to stick it out, but there were certain upgrades we wanted to make, like solar, for instance. And it was like, well, if we're not keeping this RV, do we really want to put all this money into making it solar? And so it was, I mean, I'll tell you, it cost us $30,000 to get out of that RV. So that was a $30,000 mistake right up front. And it was like,
That's most people's whole RV. And knowing what we knew now, we probably would have just spent 30 grand on the RV and been fine. But you know, we were coming at it all wrong because we didn't know any better.
Right.
And we were listening to people that just had different priorities and were at a different stage in their life than we were.
Right. And it's one of those things where now we know, but we didn't then. And we have to live with that decision, but we are in a much better place and figured out what we like. And it's
yeah. And so when we bought this RV that we're in now, this decision, it was also a challenge because we were going from a bigger RV to a smaller one, but we knew we needed this thing and that thing and this other thing. And those are the things we needed for the life we wanted to live. And those may not be the right things for you. That's why I'm not telling you specifically what they are, because everybody has different goals and what they want to do. And we're happy in this RV. I mean, it does what we want it to do. We got it out on the edge of this cliff and we're living on solar power and we're living how we want to live. And, you know, that took a certain amount of experience to get to.
Right.
And so, go ahead.
It just, I was just going to say, it can be hard to make the right decisions because you are carrying the baggage from your life up to this point with you. And it may not be the same as what your RV life is like.
No.
And you're making decisions based on two different things. You know, it's what is and what will be are different. It's amazing how different it is sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think back to myself and how I was, because it's strange. But so you guys a lot of you are probably here because you're probably in that same place trying to figure out like, what's my next move? And every time I ask 5 questions, I get 6 answers off the internet and lots of matter of fact stuff that's just like, you must have this and I would never do that. And, you know, if you're trying to figure out your next move, we want to invite you to come to a free live webinar that we're going to be putting on April 16th.
Yes.
And it's called 5 Steps to Freedom. And it's how you can start your full-time RV life the right way.
Yeah. And we're going to pack this hour-long webinar with valuable info with the 5 steps that you need to smoothly transition to full-time life. Because we know what we needed when we started, and we want to get you on that right path to freedom.
Yep. And we're not going to tell you what to choose. We're not going to tell you this is the one and that's not the one, but we're going to help you understand how to think about it so that you can start making better choices.
Right.
And not just blind choices based on, you know, some blowhard on the internet.
It's all about you. Everything that you need to decide is all about you. It's not something that you can exactly, you know, take from people here and there, because you need to figure out what's best for you.
Yeah. But
you can get to those sign up for the webinar at Roadmap to Full Timing RV. Let's see if I can find the thing to put comments in.
So at the very, very bottom, there it is.
Oh, did I find it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm dropping the link to it in here.
Yeah, so if you go to roadmaptofulltimерving.com, there's a sign up for the webinar, and there's limited space on it. It's April 16th at the same time that we do all of our live shows, because, you know, East Coasters are off of work and West Coasters can hurry home or duck out of the office early.
It'll actually take place of the Facebook Live show on April 16th, because that is a Monday. So we are doing it there, and we hope you join us, because it's just a free live webinar. It's, you know, you can come get all this information, take it with you, figure out these steps, and then just, you know, keep those steps with you going on full time.
And just, I guess, one important detail is there won't be a replay like normal. If you come to the live,
excuse me.
Oh, sorry. But anyway, yeah. So come join us.
Yeah.
But there's some comments.
Yeah, we're gonna take some of those.
Let's see these.
But I just wanted to say too, we would love for you to take your next step in fulfilling your RV dream and join us. And just so you know too, because we said it's taking place of the live show on that Monday, but we are having double up this week and next week. So we're actually going to be on the air Thursday also. So we're going to do some myth busting around full-time RVing and what it takes to get on the road. So join us back here on Thursday at the same time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about myth busting the full-time life. So a few of the things we see out there that we don't really agree with. So we'll let you know how we feel about that stuff. So Jeff had a question about how many people do we see who have a storage locker or things in storage? Oh, it's not showing up on screen. I don't know if they can see it or not.
All right.
So how many people do we meet that have things in storage that eventually get rid of them or keep them because you're having a hard time dealing with that? And that is totally normal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A couple things we say. One is the memory of the thing important or the thing? Like, is this thing important or is a memory of that time I did that to Crenza important? Now, if the memory is important, I could take a picture of this thing and look at the picture later and still laugh about that time I did that thing to Crenza.
Well, now he has a video forever.
And I have this video to watch. So a lot of times it's not the stuff itself that's that important. It's the memory it evokes. So if you could take a picture and that picture give you the same memory, then maybe that's good enough.
Right.
But things like wedding albums, maybe you have a family piece of furniture that's passed down and maybe you don't know if RV is your thing.
Right. I was going to say, you have to answer those questions of, is this something that you're not sure about and you want to hold on to this stuff?
Yeah.
Or is it something that you just need more time to get accustomed to not living with it, and then go back a year later and look at it?
Yeah.
And then maybe
so there is absolutely no harm and no shame in putting some things in storage. And then just revisit them in a year, come back when your lease on that unit's up and think about, okay, I've paid X amount of dollars per year. Did it matter? Did I think about any of this stuff while I was gone? And if not, maybe you get rid of some of it. Maybe you move it to a smaller unit. And you have to decide. Our experience with people we know, it tends to be people come back a year later and they just wipe out their storage unit. Right. They clear it out.
That happens a lot once you get on the road, because after you've been living without it, you find that you don't really need it. But there are exceptions to that. There's always exceptions to everything. Mm-hmm. So some people like to hold on to that, or we know people who only plan to do it for so long. So they definitely have kept everything. But sometimes you can find maybe just a box and keep it with a family member or a friend, because there's only a few things that you want to hold on to for sentimental reasons. So there's a lot of options. And, as far as how many people, I'm not sure, because it's a lot of people have gone back and cleared out things. And we know a lot of people who are still in their first year or so. Yeah. And so maybe they have it.
I think there's some comfort, and it's kind of funny because we're full timers. We see a lot of people like, well, I'm just going to do a year on the road. And then, it's just a year. And we kind of laugh because we're like, no, it's not. You're here. You're one of us. You're stuck. You're a full timer now. You're going to be here for a while. But that giving yourself a year is kind of that mental thing you do to make yourself not sound crazy, because you can always go back and get your stuff out of storage and put it in a house. Yeah. So, if you need to, do it. There's no shame. If you got the money to do it, then yeah, it's no problem. So let's see. A bunch of them just came in for a minute. What was that? So Patricia was asking, can you tell a little bit about what we mean by needs versus wants? And needs versus wants vary a ton by person. But a lot of people say, I need a king-size bed. I need a residential refrigerator. Well,
and then is it that you really need a king-size bed? Are you having huge dogs sleep with you in the bed where you actually need that space? Or is it just that that's what you have in your home and you're used to it? Right. But do you want to give up the space in the bedroom for the king-size bed?
Or do you want to have a king-size bed that's jammed so close to the wall that you can't make it in the morning because the blankets have to jam?
Otherwise, maybe the queen's a little easier to walk around, or, you're using part of your RV space for that.
And for us, we wanted to boondock. So for us, we needed a gas refrigerator. We want a residential, but gas is better for the power consumption needs we have. So for us, that's what we wanted and needed, but we didn't need it. We wanted it. We could deal with a cooler if we have to. We're adaptable people. So there's a lot of things like that. And it really comes down to, what do you want to do? But a lot of times people, they need 45 feet of space. They need an extra sleeping space for when their grandchildren come to sleep with them once a year. I'm like, do you want to carry a whole bedroom around for once a year? Or do you give them a tent outside or throw them on the couch? You know,
some of this stuff falls into the wants because it's great. You know, maybe you find a RV with a king size bed, perfect. You know, or this other extra sleeping space. But you know, it's really just a want, because if you can find an RV that fits you, but hey, the couch folds down or it comes out, the grandkids can sleep on that. You know, or what if the RV's perfect, except it has a queen size bed and not a king size? Is that really a deal breaker? Yeah. So that's kind of the
and then, you know, when we get to needs, it's more like we need big water tanks. We need cargo carrying capacity. We need, you know, a reliable engine or a reliable chassis. You know, we need insulation. Those are the things that are important. But as a normal person, you go into a house and you look at how beautiful the kitchen is and how beautiful the bathroom is. And then that's what sells the house. In an RV, there's a lot of manufacturers out there that'll give you a beautiful bathroom and a beautiful kitchen, and they'll put it on kind of a janky chassis. And so the whole part of it that's moving it down the highway isn't as strong as some other one that maybe isn't quite as pretty, but you can change that. That's easy.
Lori said, I'm hitting these things, I'm not sure they're showing up. The comments here, they're in the process of selling their pop-up camper and looking for a trailer afterwards, and they can't wait to go full-time.
Nice.
That's great.
Hey, maybe try full-timing in the pop-up. We know one crazy couple who did that for a couple of years.
Yeah. Kelly said the webinar sounds awesome, and she wished she had us to help her before she went full-time.
Nice.
Would be. Oh, and Bob, who's actually a past student or current, I don't know. They'll be watching next Monday.
They're always current students, right?
Right. From our new RV. They're watching for their new RV on their first night in it. That's awesome and amazing. I love it. I love it. You guys are going to be watching it from your new RV, just picking it up.
And then Neva, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry. Want to know what we had versus what we have. We had a 40-foot diesel pusher. It was a 2006 model, and now we have a 2012 gas motorhome. So we had, I'm sorry, I'm using all RV to talk. We had a 40-foot diesel motorhome. Now we have a 30-foot gas motorhome. And the diesel had big, huge slides that opened out on both sides. So the interior space was enormous. And then the gas has one smaller slide on this side. It doesn't open up quite as big, but it's a smaller, lighter RV. And for what kind of camping we wanted to do, this is the right choice for us for now.
Right.
And it'll definitely change. I think our path is going to be to go smaller for a period of time, and then we'll reach a time when we're sick of it. We want to go bigger again.
We go bigger. Who knows?
But personally, for us, at our time, we started way too big. And it just meant it limited us on the kinds of camping we wanted to do and the places we could go. And then the friends we met on the road, they were all smaller. And so they were squeezing into places we couldn't go. So we would go visit them, and then we'd have to go back to the campground later. So that's what we did. Yeah. Sorry, let's see.
Robin, I was asking about where we go in between expensive RV parks, save money, and or boondock, and if they have space limits. And it really just depends, because we are boondocking right now.
Yeah. This is the tightest spot we've ever fit into.
Well, the spot where we are is open, but to get to it, we had trees that were very close on.
Fortunately, our friends were here before us with their small trailers. They have small. Oh, Kelly can tell you, she's here. They have small trailers, but one of them, he walked in front of the RV and he would like hold the tree branches back so I could slide through. And you know, when we get out of here, it's going to be a challenge, but it's beautiful and we're on a cliff, so it was worth it.
Right.
So you could probably get a 34-foot out here. I was talking to someone with a huge fifth wheel, and I'm like, I don't think you're making it. I mean, you could get here, but you couldn't turn around.
Yeah. There's places that not all the way at the end, you know, that aren't overlooking the cliff, that about anybody but could park back out farther down the road, but you just don't have the cliff view. So it's kind of an option here. Yeah. But it just really depends. Desert, you know, everything. But
yeah, you can fit anything in the desert. And I guess on our thing is, you know, as you see more, you want to push a little further. You want to push a little further. So, I mean, like, why would we come all the way out here and not camp on the cliff? You know, if we were camping back there, why don't we just camp somewhere else that wasn't down a dirt road? So, yeah, that's our craziness. Elliot asked, what do we do for alternative transportation? We tow an SUV behind us, and, you know, with luck, we might have a motorcycle hanging off the... I really want to get a dirt bike now to hang off the back of it because, again, it can take me just a little bit further.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons that we have motorhomes, too. We started out towing a Mini. It was great fuel economy, and it was fun. But now Brandon wants to go further and go out there more. So we ended up with the SUV, so we tow that instead. It gets us out a little bit more.
And even though we're technically we're camping, we're not camping. We're living in our RV. We're on the computer right now. We watch Netflix. We went and bought a tent and a camping stove and stuff, and we even leave our RV and we go camp. We go places that we can't even take our RV to push even further out. Yeah. But again, that's just us. We know that people don't want to be dirty and not have showers, and you know, even me, it's a hard transition.
I think because we lived in cities, now we're pushing outside of them, and so some people actually prefer to be in the cities and go around and see that. So, you know, and
it's a whole different, you know, set of requirements that you may want. And if you're plugged in all the time, then that big, huge refrigerator is nice, and you know, you can fit all your leftover pizza in it.
So Patricia was saying they went and looked at travel trailers. Now they're really thinking they don't need such a large place, so they can get out there sooner, which is another kind of a thought, you know, like if you want to get out quickly, do you really need to wait or push yourself into something that's expensive or things like that? And she asked if we thought they could go smaller than what they originally thought. They don't have kids, but they have lots of small dogs.
How many is lots?
Yeah, how many is lots? We still have 2 dogs. We did have 2 cats in here with us at one point too. But
our friends, like our friends that live in a camper van, or they were full-timing in a camper van with 3 medium to large size dogs, and it was just the 2 of them. And yes, you can fit in it. People are hugely adaptable, and honestly, there's days when I think, like, I kind of wish we might have started with the trailer.
Right. Just started smaller and cheaper and faster.
Yeah. It's always easier to go bigger. It's scarier to go small. So if you can get yourself in small, you're probably going to stay small for a while. And then when you go bigger to you is not going to be 40 feet. Bigger is going to be like 23 feet. You're going to feel like it's palatial and you have all this space, but you're still small. And that's our friends on both sides of us. They're both in smaller trailers, but they're solo, so you know it's totally fine. But I could do that too, except for all my storage stuff.
Some of your storage stuff.
But even that,
have the dive bay, scuba stuff with us right now.
But even that, 4 years on the road, I'm starting to I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. I'm carrying around too much stuff.
It's, you know, there's a point where you don't want to. You have to kind of figure out your limits, but for the most part, people can usually end up in something smaller than they originally thought, because it just, you're very much more adaptable than you think. You know, you're coming off a house, and so it's like everything seems so small compared to that. But once you're in it, like, we could go smaller than what we have right now, I think, very easily. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. She said 6 Chihuahuas. So like 1 1/4 real dogs. And but like to a Chihuahua, it's going to be a mansion, you know? So are you going to be comfortable in it? And you know, you're not going to have as much space to walk around, so you won't step on them as easily.
That's the only thing with dogs, because the cats, they like get up high, and then
dogs are always under your feet.
They're
that is
under
annoying.
Your feet.
But our friend next door, Kelly, she's on here. I keep saying she's on here. I don't know why. I'm being weird. She's got 2.
She's got it. Too small. One Chihuahua. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
Oh, the debate of diesel versus gas. That's a big one. We can't even get into that here. But you can actually read.
She said that it was helpful because she's.
They're currently debating gas versus diesel. Yeah. There's even a post we wrote about when we changed from our diesel to gas, and about buying your last RV first. If you go to rv2freedom.com and you scroll down into where the blog posts are, you should be able to see it. It's can you really buy your last RV first? Because that's what we were told to do.
Right.
That's when we ended up with our big diesel pusher.
Exactly.
And it was beautiful. It was great. But maybe not the right choice for us at the time.
No.
We didn't need our last RV yet. It wasn't the right one for us.
Right, exactly.
We need the one that fit us now.
Yeah. And yeah, the gas versus diesel debate, I mean, you can get people to argue until they're blue in the face. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about next week. We're in gas. We've been all over the country a couple of times now. We haven't exploded yet. If we do explode, our engine's dirt cheap. It's a Ford V10. I can go get another one out of a junkyard if I had to. But a lot of our friends are in gas. The majority of them are in gas now in motorhomes. And they all survive just fine.
So I did have a question from Lori asking if we're planning on full timing for a long time, or do we want to go back to a sticks and bricks house? For anybody who doesn't know what S&B or sticks and bricks, it's just a house. It's just how we refer to it in the RV community, or something else. Right now, we plan to keep full timing in our RV for as we have no end in sight at this moment.
Yeah, and that's one of those changes. You know, when we were corporate and we had our lives, it was very much, well, my plan is to do this and become in charge of that and do this thing and buy that thing and get up here. Now it's like, we're going to do this. We're RVing and we're going to RV until we don't want to RV anymore. And then we'll do something else and we'll be fine with that. But we are really, for the foreseeable future, committed to RVing. We do all of this. I mean, we got to be committed for this stuff. And we're also working with the Escapees RV Club too. So we want to be involved. We want to make sure that people are getting the right information and heading out the right way and being happy when they get there.
Yeah. Robin had said they also thought about going smaller to the Airstream from their 34-foot fifth wheel because of the space limit. So yeah.
And I think Chris and I talked about this once. I'll bring up your mom, but her mother just doesn't like small spaces. She grew up in a smaller house, and she just likes. She
doesn't like
more
small spaces. Yeah.
And so probably put that seed in your head.
Yeah,
that things are closing in, and
I felt like that when I was looking at things, and I think I thought a lot about that and what it would look like to her, or had her in my head. But I'm not my mom, so I'm actually fine with a small space. So I had to think about that. And
your space is, it's just where you live. I mean, it's just
and a small space, even just being a big RV.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the difference for us. I could live in a 45-foot RV and think it's palatial. Yeah. I don't think she could.
No. But yeah, and then you have your outside space, and when you're not in here working or cooking or watching TV, you're out doing something, and it's taking you somewhere new. So it's not this burden on you that you're cramped in this thing. Right. It's more like, well, it's smaller. I can get it further, and I can go somewhere easier.
But it all just depends on what you need and what you plan to do with it. And I mean, that's some of the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Kevin asked what cliff we're overlooking and asked if we could tell him where we are. We're in Utah. It's called the Little Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. There's a couple pictures of it. We put them in the group and on the RV to Freedom Instagram. Yeah. And it's pretty amazing right now. It's like looking out our front window. And every time, right now it's too sunny. It won't work with the camera very well. But every morning when I open the blinds, because we close them because I don't know why. Someone's going to walk in front of the cliff in front of us. I don't know. But I see the cliff, and it's just every morning I'm just like, wow. Because it's really pretty awesome in the true sense of the word, where it's really awe-inspiring.
But it is 35 miles down a dirt road. Yeah. And everything is dirty. The whole RV is dirty. The bays are dirty. So we're going to have some work to do when we get out of here.
That's awesome for Michael. He's got a canister. He's got like the brother to our RV.
Or the big daddy of this. Canyon Star is a little more upscale than the Bay Star.
Yeah. And they've only been out once so far, but they've got 12 more trips planned. Woo woo!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice. All right, whatever.
Yeah. And there's people who Nova's going. They have to go home tomorrow, but they're looking to full-time RVing.
Yeah.
So that's great too. So let me see if there's anything else, guys, and otherwise we'll let you go.
Quick question. Elliot asked a question about a CDL required for an RV. It depends on the state you're in. Texas, for instance, requires, it's not a true CDL, it's a modified CDL for any RV over 26,000 pounds. But Florida has no requirements like that. Indiana, most states have no requirements, but there are a handful, and it's usually 26,000 pounds or larger. It's not a true CDL, though. It's just they'll give you the CDL book and tell you what sections you need to know.
Yeah.
And you have to take an extra test. And there's usually a driving test, and it usually takes longer than a day because you go and take the written test, and you got to come back with your RV to do the next section.
Kat said she saw some old co-workers a few weeks ago, and they said she looked more happy and relaxed.
Nice.
In 10 months, and no thoughts of going back.
Nice.
Kat was actually in the original roadmap class, and so that's awesome, Kat. That's what it does to you, right? We've had people say that to us too, friends that we've known for a long time. They're like, you just look so much happier, and it seems to really fit you because we just love what we do now. Yeah.
And Julie, you're over there in Denver, and you're asking, how do I keep water lines from freezing when the temperatures drop? Honestly, we don't go places that cold. Yeah. And like here tonight, I think it's going to be 24, but 24 we're fine with. Our RV
Which was asking about the weather conditions. It was getting warmer. It's dropping right now because we're getting crazy wind. Yeah. But it's just for a day.
But yeah, there are a ton of techniques you can do. If your RV is more permanently stationed, you can skirt it to keep the wind from blowing underneath. You can put a space heater underneath or light.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole goal for us is to not be where it's that cold. And we've had situations where we've run into it, but for the most part, we're safe.
Yeah. You guys just need to get back out here, get south. But yeah, try, the skirting and putting stuff. You just got to cover up those lines, basically. Yeah. You want to protect them from the wind and the cold.
Or winterize. Winterizing's not hard. It's pretty quick to do. And I know your RV is tiny, so it'll be even faster. We've done that before. We've been in a place where it's dropped down to like 16 overnight. For a couple of nights. So I'll just winterize it real quick. I'll go get the stuff and pump my 3 gallons in, and I'm done. And then I don't have to worry as much.
Make sure you use the RV antifreeze for that.
Yeah.
Not regular car antifreeze. Yes. The pink stuff.
The pink stuff.
The pink stuff.
Melinda asked about the Savannah Convergence.
I told her she had to come to it. We're looking in like early to mid-December. So
and it will most likely be in a park. I'm trying to get some cool boondocking ideas, but Savannah just doesn't have space for it. I found one place, but it's not in the best part of town. So we'll probably be in a park, but we're trying to get good rates on it anyway.
Yeah. So. Yes. We just so you know what we're talking about. We're going to host an Escapers Convergence in Savannah in December.
Yeah. So in December, Savannah, come there, hang out with us, hang out with Escapers, see what these crazy people are about.
Yes.
And, just have fun in Savannah. And our family lives there. So it's easy for us.
You can't. The Convergence isn't on, the information isn't on their website yet, but you can always
I haven't finished figuring it out.
Yeah. But you can go learn more about Escapers to see if it's something you're even interested in on escapers.com.
Yep. And Dolores, this is recorded. It will be immediately available as soon as we stop talking and turn it off. But just since you hopped on late, and I was about to tell everybody anyway, again, we are having a free webinar April 16th at 8 p.m.
Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. And you can sign up for it at Roadmap to Full-Time RVing. You do have to sign up for this one, though. It's not a normal live to everybody. Right. It's just for the people.
It's not on Facebook. It's going to just be a special one off of Facebook. So you need to sign up and get your seat now so that you can attend. And we would love to have you there. We're going to get more into full timing and help you decipher those steps that you need to do to get there easily.
And Patty, you can definitely come to the event in Savannah. You do need to be a member of Escapees to come to the event, but it's a real cheap membership, and you're probably going to end up being a member anyway when you go full time.
Well, it's for all RVers. It's a total support network for all RVers.
But yeah, you should totally come, and then you'll get to talk to RVers, you get to talk to full timers, you'll get to look inside people's RVs, you'll get to hang out, and you'll get to get a feel for it and realize, hey, we're all out here doing stuff. So yeah, for sure, come. Stay in a hotel nearby, or if you're local, just be local. One of the parks we're looking at has cabins, so there might be an option for cabins, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
So,
well, and if they're part-time or weekenders,
oh yeah, if you're
have an
weekenders,
RV.
yeah, bring your RV. I'm sorry.
Brandon forgets sometimes.
I forget
that
people
not,
have RVs that don't live in them.
Yeah, like we used to do.
Yeah, but sure, yeah. Come on out. And it'll be a small one, so you shouldn't be so overwhelmed. It won't be 400 people.
Yeah, anyway, well, we'll let you get back to your night. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you hopefully Thursday when we'll cover some of the myths about full timing and getting out on the road. And then we'll have, next week, we'll have 2 more. And then make sure you go to roadmaptofulltimerving.com and sign up for the webinar. That's April 16th. Yeah. Wait. Oh, you've got it right there. It's right there.
It's terrible. Right.
So sign it. Let me put the link in one more time here for you guys. Sign up for the webinar. Get your seat now, and you can learn a lot more about full-time RVing.
Yes, because if you can't tell already, we could talk about RVing for days.
Yeah,
and we do actually.
We do. And that's what,
yeah.
We have to break it up because you can't sit with us forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Hours and hours and hours.
And
right?
We've got a date with a pizza.
Yeah, I think you end a lot of these live shows talking about food or pizza.
Oh. All right.
Let's see what's important to Brandon.
So anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Thursday.
So you think you want to be a full-timer? Okay. Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you Thursday. We're going to talk about myths of RVing or full-timing.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this replay of our Facebook live show.
Join our Facebook community to participate in the live shows and learn how to live in an RV.
Go to rvtofreedomgroup.com to join the RV to Freedom Facebook group.
And to be notified about our next live videos and more, sign up with the link provided below in the video description.
We want to help you find your RV to freedom.